I feel like Aughts has grown into its own thing. In the early days, it felt like it was an extension of me. But now I feel like it's its own living, moving thing. And like, I believe in Aughts and think it's like a really cool and valuable thing in our community. The pieces just were all kind of placed in front of us. Like, I feel like God has been arranging. He has literally been arranging for Aughts Coffee for years, like years. Before Aughts, I was home with our kids. I had been staying home with them since our oldest was born, so 8 years. We did a bunch of homesteading in the past, so we're taking care of animals, and we were dabbled in self-sustainability, that kind of thing.
Before Aughts, I worked at a mortgage company for a year doing management, and then before that I was running a title insurance company for like 10 years.
We got married young. I went from living in my parents' house to a conservative Christian college to being married. And so I never really had a bunch of like adult world experience. And so I'm just out in the world as an adult, and like I'm a business owner, and it's been good, but again, just like almost a jolt to me.
And the plan going into it was like, Betsy would run the trailer, and she could probably do it by herself, and like our babysitter would help out sometimes.
I thought it was gonna be part-time, just me, like my cute little trailer.
We set up the first time in a random church parking lot without much notice as like a soft launch, and there was a line the whole time in the rain.
I was blown away from our soft launch, that it could be what it was. And so yeah, no, I feel like last season I kept saying like just trying to catch my breath. Once we started, it was just insanity. We are driving down to Mission Thrift to get the trailer ready to open at 7 a.m. And it's almost 5:55. This morning in particular, Dan got up at 4:15 to go get ice for me. So I didn't have to wake up so early and load 18 bags of ice from the gas station and all that. So he woke up early and loaded ice for me. And then he stayed up and helped me like pack up the truck with the cold brew and our cash and all that. He goes back to bed now with the girls. He's home with them, and I left. And a lot of times, if there's like nighttime work to do, he'll stay up late and get the stuff done at night because I stop functioning at like 9 p.m. We alternate typically like who's up late, who's up early. Yeah, that's how it works out most days. This day last year was like a very, very busy day. So I'm looking forward to like a busy, fun day, seeing lots of people. It's always fun to be with lurches, like they're good friends of ours, especially in the business world, especially in the mobile business world. It's really good to have good friends that like have your back and you help each other out, and they're just like probably our best friends. It's always fun to get to like do what we do together. And I'm very well staffed today. So I'm also looking forward to that because I know that I'm covered.
Betsy and Dan have worked really, really hard to kind of make this a lifestyle, and I know they've given up some things like personal jobs that they had before.
Betsy and I's role changed when Aughts, especially this year. So Betsy would be with the kids full time. I got to work from home, which was great. I'd be around, but I'd like come down and have lunch. I'd like go to the bathroom and say, hey.
To go from my identity as like a mom for 8 years, that was my primary thing. And with Dan working so much, I was with the girls all the time, with a lot of times with little support, and he would say that too. There was times he just couldn't be the support that we needed him to be.
If I could hear a bunch of them crying or screaming, I'd go check on them and like help out. But she was the boots on the ground with the kids and for our family. And I would go up and shut my door and be in the corporate world and have meetings and do all of that. I know it's harder for her in a lot of ways because she's gone from being the primary caretaker on a daily basis to a secondary.
Do you feel like you miss your routine before?
Yes, yeah, I do. I would have days where I was itching to like get out of the house and or do something of my own or on my own. But now I have so much of that. It's like the unbalanced, which that we're working on finding more balance for our family, but it is unbalanced right now because so much of my time and energy is the business and so little is like what I used to do and find my identity in and enjoy. So yeah, yep. It has been a leap of faith, you know, leaving full-time employment with benefits and security and all that into this. That was a big leap of faith for us. We've just seen God working every step of the way.
There has been some coffee shops that I've gone into that you kind of feel a little off-put, but Betsy and all the girls really work really hard to love everyone and just be really inclusive and nice and not really judge or be mean in any way.
The customer service is extremely special. Like, I've never met a group of ladies or gentlemen or anything that are as friendly as the Otts group.
You can go to Starbucks and wait in line. Everybody seems to be like kind of annoyed, but like you come here and people are nice and they're happy and they don't care if it's freezing. They're waiting outside. They know, they like expect it.
It feels like we're doing what we should be doing and where we should be right now. I don't think that's necessarily out of us being great at what we're doing, which we are, but you can be great at what you're doing and fail. And so I think there's more to it than just the work we're putting in.
Relationships have formed and opportunities that like just fell in front of us and we just said yes. And we're like, okay, like we'll do it. With how hard it's been on me and like our family, in the hardest moments, support was wrapped around us and friends stepped up, employees stepped up to help, was just like a gift from God. I've learned a lot about not only trust, but just like that God provides. And I mean, you know, Psalm 23, that's like the Lord is my shepherd, like I shall not want. Some versions say like I want nothing. That's kind of how I feel this season, is like everything's just provided for. God is good and he cares about you and loves you. And like when things are meant to happen and like it's part of his plan, like it just, you can't stop it.